Boom, we're on.
Ta-da! Recording. It says live.
All right.
But
The first thing I've noticed is you and I seem like we might both be low energy today.
I'm not. I had 2 coffees.
All right. I'm going to chug this one.
Okay. I just like to get going with a guest because then I get real high energy.
Well, Casey Patterson's going to join us.
Yes. The pro volleyballer, Olympic volleyballer,
yeah.
And still on the AVP, right?
Yeah, right. And so say that acronym again. Is it it's AVP?
AVP.
Yeah. So they've gone through similar to kind of what's going on in pickleball. Like they've gone through tons of acquisitions and ownership changes and lots of moving parts and different organizations coming in and doing different things. So they'll have a cool perspective on everything that's going on in pickleball right now. So that'll be good.
Right.
He is, dropping off the kids.
Classic dad stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You relate to that. I don't.
Yeah. I already did that. And I have a daughter that needs to be picked up in 20, but I convinced my wife that she needs to do that today. So nice. We're here.
We're here.
How's Austin,
APP.
Dude?
Good. Still don't have any stuff.
Still just keep floating.
Stuff.
Okay, so you're gonna have doubles of everything. That'll be cool.
Well,
have you met up with anybody to play pickleball?
No, I've played no pickleball.
Oh.
I was supposed to play today, but there's like a storm.
What kind of storm? Like snow and stuff, or just rain?
Super cold and super windy.
Oh,
I was supposed to play. We were gonna play last Sunday.
Yeah.
Dreamland.
Okay.
Way too windy.
Don't they have an indoor court?
Not yet.
Oh. Ooh.
They're putting up a dome. Oh, okay. Whoa. I just got a press release email. This is live. Ooh. Major League Pickleball announces increased player prize pools for 2022.
Cool. More money.
Let's see if we can do a little detail.
You know what they say about more money?
Mo problems.
Yeah, I think that's false.
Yeah, right now I have no money and a lot of problems because of that.
Okay. Well, that's good news for all the players involved, and it'll be interesting to see who is allowed under their current contracts to even show up to MLP.
Yeah. So here, want me to? I'll read sort of the general. Among the increases introduced by MLP are more prize money, new draft cash bonuses, and lodging allowances totaling $217,000 for the 32 players drafted to Major League Pickleball in 2022.
Okay, cool.
Included in this press release, though, is information about the APP and their increased prize pools as well. So it sounds like they are pretty aligned and moving forward with all that.
Okay.
But yeah, interesting.
It's just always changing. Can you believe that? We got on here, we record it, we hit record, and then more news just keeps coming in. I'd like to touch on something. The APP down here in Mesa this past week, I chose a sleeper pick.
Yeah. Yep. No, we know you did.
Yeah. I chose Austin Gridley, JW, JW Johnson. Yeah. And you said they're a fine sleeper pick, but you had other ideas.
No. Do you know who my sleeper pick was?
The same.
No. Spencer Smith and Callan Dawson.
Oh, who were in the finals with them?
Yeah. We had good picks by us.
So I think moving forward and I think probably because we are so intelligent as to calling these sleeper picks, we'll probably be your one-stop shop for all of your future pickleball gambling needs.
That's right. I don't know if there's anyone else out there who could help with picks more.
I don't think so. And man, sometimes it's your gut. Sometimes it's like seeing other players. I've actually had the experience of playing with many of these players. So and you have too. So we have a little inside scoop, but yeah, pretty cool. Our sleeper picks in the men's doubles went against each other for gold. You chose Irina for gold in singles.
That was obvious.
Yep. She won that easily. And then who did you choose? Did you choose any other winners? Who won the women's? Irina again.
Irina and Vivian.
And you chose that.
I think I either chose them or had them as like my, watch out for them.
Yeah.
I think I did choose them.
I think you chose them as well.
Yeah, I did. And then I said that, watch for Jesse Irvin and Coop. And they ended up in the final against them. So, and that was
we don't have any, we have the APP in Boca Raton right now going on this weekend.
Yeah, it starts today. So it's on right now.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, so I mean, who'd you pick for men's singles? I picked Jay.
I don't remember who I picked.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was like, I'm writing these down, and then
you didn't.
And then I was like, I don't like writing, so I didn't.
I chose Zane. I think I chose Zane.
Yeah, Zane. I would call this like a big upset, but Johnson Cola. He's 40 years old. He's playing really well because he beat Jay DeBillion. Really it's not like he had an easy draw to get to Zane.
Yeah,
he had to take down Jay DeBillion and JW Johnson. So really impressive. Good for him. And we'll see if he can keep that going throughout the year.
Yeah, and Sincola was famous for getting golden pickled by Zane in singles last year at one of the tournaments.
Really?
Yeah, I believe that was John Sincola.
Redemption.
Major redemption.
Yeah, major redemption.
So that was pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah.
Next.
Well, all right. You were going to talk about the APP Boca Raton. So I was just watching one of the early round matches. It was Jack Foster versus Pablo.
Yeah, get this name right. Let's see. Here you go.
I had never seen him before.
Here we go.
Perfect. Pablo Tellez, a Colombian dude from the Pro Tennis Tour.
Cool.
Low rent, never like within the top 1,000, but a good player. I knew immediately when I saw him playing that he was a tennis player. He has such a tennis style to him. But he beat Jack Foster, who again, it's great up and coming player that I said watch out for in 2022.
Yeah.
Beat him the first game 11-4, seemingly pretty easily. Had him at 10-8 in game 2. And I don't know Pablo. I don't have any ties to him. Probably a good dude. Had maybe the most egregious, which is a favorite word of NML pickleball, by the way.
Sure.
An egregious outcall on Jack Foster. Like it was so in the court, but the game was really contentious. Like they were chirping at each other. They were doing all the gamesmanship you can think of. Yeah. So it was a tense match, and it was I can't believe the ref didn't overrule it. But Foster ended up coming back, winning that one, and then winning the third game. So he moves on. Tellez is out. But I was impressed by Tellez when he was on. He was hitting some pretty impressive shots.
Okay. Well, do you think, and this is my bold prediction, for the future of pickleball.
Go for it.
Was invented in the U.S. Mm-hmm. It was the U.S. is currently the center of pickleball. Mm-hmm. Very similar to the mountain biking trajectory, where it was invented here. The Americans took it over. The Americans introduced it to the world, and then once the world got a hold of it, the Americans weren't even in contention for the top seeds almost ever. Mm-hmm. In the last 30 years, there has been very few Americans on the podiums in mountain bike World Cups, et cetera. And I think that with the way the sport is growing and how fast it's growing and the heritage of tennis in other countries where there's more of it, I think, and paddle sports in general, I think we're going to see a huge international growth and a huge international contingent challenging for these top spots in the sport. And hopefully the United States, the inventors of the sport, don't get left completely behind. But
I think you're right. I think you're completely right. I already have noticed a major pickup just in traffic across our pages from South American countries. And like Spain as well. So
yeah, they're coming for us.
They're super curious about what the hell's going on over here, and yeah, we'll see. But I think you're right.
Okay,
I agree with that prediction.
I agree as well. I think it'll be interesting to see. But what else? What else we got going on?
Reminder to everybody: you
yes,
get 10% off at anything at From with Pickleball.
Mm-hmm.
Use the code 10DINK, Dink, all caps. Another thing I want to mention: I'm looking for someone who likes to get on camera. So we have all the resources in the world, right? You, but not you.
Okay.
Unless you want to like.
Let's hear what the job entails.
We can expand this friendship here to.
Let's hear what the job entails.
Well, we would like somebody to get on camera more on a day-to-day basis, like every day. Well, it depends on the news and the
okay
sport.
Here we go. This is my audition for it. Breaking news. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Tyson Apostle on behalf of the Dink here, and we have some breaking news. The MLP organization has released a update on their player prize pool, player stipends, and everything in between. There you have it. More to come.
It was good.
Yeah, I could probably add more info, but I just forgot all the info you told me, and I didn't.
Yeah, right.
I could have made it up.
So that's definitely going to be one of the requirements of the job, though, is like you can't forget the info in the middle of the recording.
Well, if I was going to do it, I would have it pulled up on my phone here next to me.
Okay.
And I would read it, but honestly, I don't know if that's the job for me. It's a job, and I would be definitely really good at it. But yeah, but I've got other stuff going on too.
Okay. Well, you let me know if you want another trial.
Another trial at it?
Yeah. Well, maybe one where you remember what you're supposed to say,
Well, that was just off the cuff. Like, that was zero prep, zero. I didn't even know that I was going to be doing that today. And I came up with that.
Yeah, that was right. You're good on the fly. That's why you're a good broadcaster. You're good at the broadcasting booth at these tournaments.
Yeah, I would say so.
You know how to think on the fly.
Yeah, sometimes I think too fast, and I try to squirt it out of my mouth before I've finished even thinking it.
Right.
And that's
right.
It's fine. We
talked last week about how you have expertise in all these different fields because you think so fast. I mean, you're just you're a really intelligent guy.
You would say intellectually superior, you think?
Yeah, that's exactly. Yes, thank you.
Cool. Well, what other news items do we have? We're waiting for Casey Patterson to get finished doing his dad stuff. Should I text him?
Yeah, shoot him a text. We'll just see when he's going to jump on, because I don't want to run down a path. If know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean.
Oh, I know what I was doing. So just to finish that thought, because you kind of interjected with your own tryout, we're looking for somebody who wants to get on video, wants to create videos for YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, news, analysis, you name it. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, shoot me an email at thomas@heydink.com.
Wow.
We'll talk. We'll see what we can do.
Very cool. That sounds like a lot of work. I think you should try.
So here's the cool thing about it. You just get on camera. You say what you say. You give your opinion, and you pass the video to us. We do all the heavy lifting.
So it's an opinion-based.
We would welcome opinions.
Okay, cool. Not just the facts, not just unbiased, factual listings, but.
Well, we'd ask that this person be tasteful.
Okay.
That's an intangible.
Are you looking for an intern, like an unpaid intern? What are you?
Yeah, I love free labor. Free labor's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
This guy, you're gonna get yourself in trouble. I'm not doing any of this.
Well, no, all you asked if I would be welcome it. I would welcome that. Yeah, I would welcome free labor, but also we will pay you if that's what you're asking.
I don't even know how internships work fully.
Yeah.
Like I know people get them and I know people try to get them, but I wouldn't try to get an internship if it were me.
I've done paid and unpaid internships.
Which one did you like more? Getting paid or not getting paid?
It was more about experience at that time in my life.
Okay, sure. Okay, so
being paid was nice.
Okay, yeah, I would assume so.
Okay, yeah, so we've got Boca Raton this weekend, and then the following weekend is first PPA of the year, Desert Ridge. So I'll be out there for that. I'm coming.
You're going to come out?
Yeah.
Ooh, I am doing a pickleball meetup, a pickleball meetup at Legacy. We're doing their open play Saturday morning. That next weekend. So Saturday morning, I'm going to be at Legacy playing pickleball. But other than that, I might be able to come out to Desert Ridge and high five and, be seen, all that good stuff. Get some pictures. I know you always want to get pictures.
Well, what if I can get us in the broadcast booth again? Want to do that?
Well, okay. My wife is out of town, so I have the kids, so I'd have to find sitter. So as long as you let me know in advance and I can get a sitter, then that will work.
I thought you were going to say you throw a party at your house. It's like, I'm in.
Yeah, I'll throw a party at my house. I can do that too. Also, you mentioned our friends at Fromuth. And I've been talking about this electrolyte drink that I absolutely love. 10 times more electrolytes than the competing brands. Relight. They have given us a code for our listeners. Pickleball, not case sensitive. That is the code. And you can Google Relight, RE-LYTE, or I believe the actual, just Google that, or you can get on my Instagram page and find the links to all of that stuff.
So first of all, I'm a big fan of Relight. I have like a bunch in that cupboard up there.
Yeah.
But JB, our guy JB,
yes,
is messaging me on Slack right now.
Yep.
More breaking news. The APP just announced their partnership with Intersport on a live stream they're doing apparently right now. Oh, it probably just happened. It's on my TV right here. So Intersport is that big investment that we were talking about. I don't know if it was an acquisition, if it was just an infusion of capital for a certain portion of equity. But let's look up Intersport right now. Actually know somebody who works for Intersport.
Man, this is news like real time.
Yeah. So assuming it's this agency, which I imagine it is, I'm trying to look up like some of the other stuff they do. It looks like they're involved with golf, the Rocket Mortgage Classic, which my friends and family go to every year. It's in Detroit. I don't know. I'm trying to find something interesting on these guys, but there we go. So they work with, so it looks like they're like a traditional marketing type of agency.
Okay.
They do stuff football. They do stuff for golf. They do stuff for basketball. So I don't know. We'll have to look more into these guys and see what they're all about. But yeah, more breaking news.
Man, it's just like dropping all around us. Yeah. I messaged Casey and he ghosted me. So far.
Well, we'll see if he ghosts the entire episode. That would be a bad look. It'd be kind of funny, actually.
Yeah. That we just keep talking about him and he never shows up.
Yeah, we're like, Casey's coming any moment. And
yeah. Everybody hold your breath. Here he comes.
Yeah. We could just start doing that with like any celebrity.
We could make up anybody.
Yeah, like film
Leonardo DiCaprio was supposed to be on with us last week and ended up not making it.
Yeah, I got to text him too about that.
Yeah. Oh, and you have not heard anything from our friend Casey?
No, I have to check my Instagram, but right now I'm sending this press release that I just got from.
So you're working
MLP.
While we're also working.
Yeah, because hey, the blog never sleeps, man.
Dude, who does it while you sleep?
JB.
Jabes. Do you call him JB or do you call him Jabes?
Never called him Jabes, but I feel like you've called him Jabes in the past.
Probably. Okay, well, Jabes, I guess. So he's the night shift and you're the day shift?
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds okay. Yeah, no response from Casey. So we'll see.
Okay. Well, this is one opportunity to be on.
Getting stood up live on pod.
Being on the number one.
Yeah, this is good entertainment.
But if I would have organized it, he would be here. I didn't know that this was happening. I would have not started until he could do it or found somebody that could do it.
You said we had to keep this episode tight.
We do. When we start an hour late, yeah.
Well then, so what's your point?
My point is I didn't know that we were starting late. We have to keep it tight, and Casey wasn't even planning on being here at the start.
Well, he dropped that on me like an hour before we.
Oh, he did?
So, yeah.
He was like, sorry.
Uh-huh. Hey, professional podcasters, dude. That's.
No, I know we are. I am.
We're in the biz.
Yeah. We definitely are in the biz. That's
so
correct.
You're telling me that on Saturday, I think it's like 6:30 or 7 p.m. in Phoenix.
Yeah.
At Desert Ridge. Michael Phelps and Larry Fitzgerald are going to be playing each other, and you're not going to show up for that?
No, I will not show up for that.
What are you going to be doing?
Oh, dude, avoiding whatever gigantic crowd is going to try and slam their way into Desert Ridge.
You got to have tickets to the tournament. So
yeah,
if you're planning on showing up, you don't have tickets. You're going to be watching from, I don't know, who knows where.
Yeah, because those courts are tight and there's fences all around them and everything. So I know they have a stadium-ish court that they can set a stadium around, but still there's not a lot of room there that unless they're putting a court out in the middle of the parking lot or something.
No, that's going to be on the championship court.
Yeah.
So they're going to do one men's doubles match. So they'll each be paired with a pro.
Yep.
One mixed doubles match. And if they tie, if it's 1-1, they have
to play singles.
They're going to play singles, which I think would be so awesome.
Fun.
So I hope
the PPA designs it. PPA, you have to design it because it's up to the pros basically who wins and who loses. I know Larry Fitzgerald plays often. Like you hear about him playing in the Valley here.
Right.
Michael Phelps, I assume he plays a little bit.
He must if he's doing this.
I mean, he was golfing a lot and he was playing some like pro-am golfing events and stuff and trying to get better and better at golfing within recent years. So I'm assuming he probably has some pickleball connection. But no, I won't be coming up to watch that, unfortunately.
My bet is Larry's better than Phelps. Here's the thing, no offense. Swimmers, when they get out of the pool, they're often uncoordinated with other sports.
That's if they have only swam their entire life.
Yeah.
So, but if Phelps is learning to swing a golf club and pretty proficient at that, etc., then that comes into play. Phelps is probably a good 6 inches taller than Fitzgerald at least.
No.
Right? No? How tall is Fitzgerald?
Google that. He's going to be 6'2", 6'3". Okay. I bet Michael Phelps is 6'3". I bet they're the same height.
You think they're the same height, but Michael Phelps says he's 6'3" on his profile because as a swimmer, the taller you are, the better. So you always exaggerate it.
Michael Phelps, 6'4". Okay. So if he's exaggerating an inch, he's 6'3". So I got that one right. Larry Fitzgerald height. 6'3", dude.
Perfect matchup. But he has a wingspan. Phelps has the famous wingspan, so maybe he can reach into the kitchen further.
You know how you felt good about your sleeper pick? I feel really good about those height guesses right there.
You were really spot on. That was incredible.
I was right there. Yeah.
I was guessing that because I'm 6'3" as well.
Me too.
Yeah, we're all 6'3". That's pretty cool.
That picture of us in the booth in Vegas was so weird to me. It was like you were standing on a box or something like that.
I think it was just the perspective of us versus where the camera was placed.
Yeah, right. Did you know in James Bond, Daniel Craig, most scenes they put him on like a little box because he's so short to make him look taller?
He does look short.
He's very short.
Yeah. So
he's like 5'7".
And I think Tom Cruise, they cast specifically for short people to be in films with him. So that he doesn't look teeny tiny little cutie pie.
That's what
that's what they say, right?
That's what they say about me.
They do, but you're 5'10".
Teeny tiny little cutie pie.
Yeah.
No, damn it. No, I'm 5'10".
Yeah, you're 5'10". Of course you are. Yeah, I feel good, Larry Fitzgerald. It's just that. No, we're going back to this celebrity event.
Yep.
Michael Phelps is an unknown for me in pickleball. Larry Fitzgerald, I know he plays. I know he loves the sport.
Right.
And so I just do not know. Has Michael Phelps been secret training? That seems like a Michael Phelps thing to do, is like hide somewhere and get in 10,000 hours worth of pickleball before he does this thing.
Yeah, he's like a psycho. He is like psycho dedication, commitment to whatever he's doing.
Sure. OCD. Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to watch. And if it's streamed, maybe I will turn it on and see. What other news headlines we got?
Well, I mean, just going back to kind of the whole PPA, APP, MLP, I did hear, and this is completely hearsay, but I did hear that MLP and PPA had a good conversation, whatever that means. So
that doesn't mean anything currently. I mean, you can be amicable with many, many people that you don't work with.
But I think the point is, like, nobody knows what's going to happen, and there's all these assumptions being made.
Sure.
And I was just listening to the Tom Dundon interview that Ben and Rob did on Freestyle Boys, and Ben made a good point where he's like, when there isn't enough information, people just in this community in particular, people just make up information, and that's, in my mind, what's been happening. It's like there's just so many assumptions about what's going on, what the intentions are, who's going to do what, how things are going to. Just everybody calm down.
Yeah.
Let's watch it play out. We don't know what's going to happen. And I do think that everyone in this sport, nobody has bad intentions for sport. Everybody has good intentions. So.
Yeah, I think, I mean, no matter what happens here, it'll either continue to grow and explode, or it will self-correct. And then people will adjust, organizations will adjust, etc. And that's just like how it works every time with many, many things.
Yeah, but I didn't even expect to have, and I heard that right before we recorded.
Yeah.
And then we had 2 press releases dropped on our heads.
Man, you've always got your ear to the floor. Is that what they say?
Yeah, it's close enough.
What would you say?
Ear to the ground.
Ear to the ground. You've got your ear to the ground, old Thomas Shields.
Yeah, that wasn't my point. It's true, though.
No, it is true. And
but no, I mean, my point is that it's ever changing. It's still evolving. There's so much happening. Like,
Casey's jumping on now, he said.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to get stood up.
I didn't. I knew. He said he's sorry. There was a.
I don't know how long it's been since you've been single, but you send that text, and you're just like, "Am I going to get a text back?" And then finally, you get the text back.
But Casey is a professional, and he understands the business we're in right here with podcasting, and so he knows not to do that to us.
Yeah,
I believe. I think.
He has the link.
Okay. He said that there was a.
He's in the car.
There he is.
We're like.
He's in the car?
Yeah, typical pickleball player, like a Swiss Army knife, dude. You got to be prepared for everything.
In the car? Is that a Lamborghini? That's what it?
Yeah, or a Honda Odyssey. But
dude, I have a Honda Odyssey too. The Lamborghini of minivans, bro.
Yes, the black on black. It's basically the Batmobile.
Yours is black on black. Mine's pearl white, and I was gonna get gold rims for it, but then I was like, I'm not dumping any more money into this thing.
That would actually be pretty sick,
right? Yeah,
that'd be so rad,
dude. Then we could just like roll together everywhere.
You guys kind of look like each other too. Casey,
well,
how
we went
tall
to
are
the
you?
same school. That's why.
Yeah,
Did you?
we both went to BYU. So
We both went to BYU. Yeah.
Yeah.
What year did you start at BYU, Casey?
2001.
Okay, so our paths, I dropped out in 2001, so our paths didn't cross. Otherwise, you could have caught me sleeping under the student athlete desks in the Smith Fieldhouse.
Yes.
Do you remember taking naps under those desks?
He's like a janitor on the side. He kind of sweeps, and then he goes and hides under the desk and takes a nap on the outdoor track.
Yeah, I would.
So
I swam there at BYU on scholarship, and I always to keep my scholarship for swimming, I had to have above a 2.0. In all 5 semesters at BYU, I never had above a 2.2 and never below a 2.0.
Really?
Which is more difficult. Yes.
Dude.
It's more difficult than actually excelling.
What grades do you need to have a 2?
Straight C's. Straight C's, bro, with a couple B minuses.
If you had any if you even have like a D+, you had to go hurry and talk to your teacher. You'd be like, look, I got practice today. Coach is going to check out where our grades are at.
Right.
Can we just clear this up and I'll do some extra credit? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, or as long as you got an A in bowling, that would only counted for half a credit, but that would counter.
Yes. I took bowling too, and then you had to run a tournament. That was the highest I ever bowled, 285 ever.
Woo!
Bowling class.
That's incredible, dude.
So much in common.
I think they started bowling class around, well, they probably had it but because you're a student athlete, you get to register for school first, Thomas. And so you, as a freshman athlete, are in classes with all grad students of the high demand classes. So it was like a group of swimmers in bowling class, all freshmen, like 4 of us, with all these grad students who were like 10 years older than us.
Right. We would
they were very annoyed.
We would all take broom ball or like dance class. So I took dance class for a day and dropped that immediately.
I can see that you're probably not light on your feet.
I'm a good dancer. All right.
Casey, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
You had some kid stuff going on, an accident on the freeway, and
dude, gnarly. Semi tipped over, actually crashed into a car on the 101 right here in near Westlake Village. I'm dropping off my wife for a tennis tournament where she's playing, and then she goes to sectionals in Palm Springs. I think it's right near Indian Wells where we played one of the last. I think that's where was it? It was like the Open or something. No, Masters, where the Masters was. Yeah, I think it was there. So I think she's going there right after. So it's just been like
Indian Wells
right now. Yeah.
No, La Quinta.
Oh, La Quinta.
Masters were.
That's right.
Cool. So Casey and I have a history, Thomas. I don't know if you know about that, other than going to school almost at the same time and never meeting each other. Is that we are we played together in Newport, and we've had an online relationship for a little while now. We have some mutual friends that kind of like introduced us, right, through the t-shirt company,
right?
And so you are like probably the third wheel here, Thomas. Is that okay?
It feels awkward. I'm glad you've
I just wanted to get it out there quickly because so that everybody knows and we can just keep moving forward from there.
Yeah, and I always appreciate when you want to address the elephant in the room. I think we're all more at ease now moving forward. So this is good. This is a positive development. Speaking of developments, dude, my segues are getting so good.
Do you want to introduce really Casey for the listeners at home that may not be familiar with his exploits?
You give the introduction, Tyson. You're his best friend, apparently.
Former and perhaps future Olympian volleyball player, right? You've been to the Olympics. Who's to say you're not going back at some point?
You never know.
You never know, dude.
I like that philosophy.
And then tell us what the acronym AVP is.
That's Association of Volleyball Professionals. So it's like what the PPA is for pickleball.
Which is what Casey Patterson is a member of. So he plays professional beach volleyball. Is that what you call it? Sand volleyball?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, beach volleyball. Sand
what
is for when you don't live near a beach. We just call it sand volleyball.
Do you? So if you're inland, do you really call it sand volleyball?
Yeah, if you're in Arizona or Texas, you're like, oh, cute, you guys play sand volleyball. No, we still call it beach volleyball. It's still beach volleyball. Okay. We don't want to lose the magic of beach, you know. We want to keep the dream alive.
We're bringing the tropics to them.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And you still playing, still competitive, but you also have some other stuff going on where you're doing some coaching, working with kids, right?
Yeah. Still playing on tour. Was in the last 3 finals, won 2 of them. So, I mean, 2 golds and a silver at 41, I guess.
Dude,
still hanging in there.
Yeah.
We like to call it protecting the nest, not letting the young ones in yet, you know. Got to make them take it. So,
yeah, that's true.
Still doing that. And then coaching, coaching club volleyball, coaching beach, a lot of things on the side. So, you know, working to do some content and marketing and internal competition stuff for a Coda Energy Group, a solar company. So I do a lot of different things right now. So it's fun. Adding pickleball was not great for that schedule because now that's all I want to do. And so it gets in the way of the things I have to do, which I hate. It's, yeah. So, but yeah, full plate.
You'll find a balance. You know, do what you love. And you are, I want to touch on this. You are, I would say, the #1 volleyball influencer in the world. Would you say? Would you go so far? Very strong social media game.
After talking, you know, in Newport for a while, I was considering putting that on my profile, but I wanted to let you own that for a little bit longer before I added it on, so it didn't look like I was just copying. You know, I wanted
copying
to be
me
like
word for word.
Yeah.
I had to change mine because I have so much stuff on my profile now. So now I am the face of pickleball and one of the voices of pickleball.
Dude, what's it like being the man? What's it like being the man?
I mean, I've known nothing different. So for me, it's just like a regular day.
It feels normal. I wake up and I put my shoes on the same. I eat cereal left-handed. That's the only thing that might be different.
I put my pants on 2 legs at a time. That's legit one of the only things I do differently.
Yeah. You like jump into them?
I jump into them.
That's pretty easy.
So I wanted to ask you, we're seeing some pickleball players, pro and non, across the board, purchasing social media followers.
Yeah.
Is that good or bad? Is that good?
That's terrible. That's terrible because all that does is, you know, every brand right now, they audit your account. Every brand that wants to be associated with you, they're going to audit your account and check your engagement. They're going to see what your reach is and how much you're going to be able to transfer. If you have like a big thing for brands too, is like it switched from old school style where, you know, they would pay you and support you on your dream to now you are basically an employee of theirs, right? With like an affiliate code, and then you're doing all these things and you got to be your own photographer and videographer, and which is, it's good for us because we learn all these new skills, but they'll see right through it, right? They'll hire an agency to audit you and be like, okay, well, what's his engagement like? Is he be able to, can he convert anything? If he's advertising this is his paddle, are people going to buy it? Well, I think luckily with pickleball, like you got a gnarly core group of followers, right? Because the followers are so hardcore, at least from what I've seen. They're
passionate, correct.
They're passionate. So they're going to support the athletes that they like to watch play, right? And so the downside to getting, you know, followers and purchasing them or trying to get a quick following is that those are going to be, you know, 100,000 followers from Thailand or from India, or, you know what I mean? They're just buying fake bot accounts. And then that ends up screwing you because then the whole algorithm gets thrown into a loop, and then you don't get, you know, you get 4 likes versus before you're getting 500 to 1,000. And you're like, what's happening? Right. And then you got to go buy likes, and then you got to go buy comments. And so you're just down the rabbit hole of having to purchase things. And so for me, I never ever bought anything because I was more scared of that happening to me than being okay with a lower number of followers.
Yeah. And I also had kind of crossed into that a few years ago and had come to the realization that if you buy followers, your account is forever ruined. Yeah. The only thing you can do to revert it back, because you can't now like pay them to get rid of these followers.
No.
The only thing you can do is go through all 50,000 of them one by one and delete them, not knowing if they're real or fake, or start a new account over. And so at this point, you've destroyed your Instagram account. There's no way.
And if you're verified, you're like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? Like that was a process that was tough to get through.
Yes.
That happens. And then if you go down that rabbit hole, you're like, oh my gosh, I got to really start over.
Yeah. And then you buy the comments, and the comments are just like, fire photo, let's collab.
Yeah, it's all
and
emojis.
It's just like, and so it's
DM,
like,
check your DMs.
Check your DMs. It's so easy to spot. So those were also like, and I had kind of come to terms with that and felt that as well. And I was like, I'm okay with my honest number of followers. It's slowly building. And that's the goal, is to slowly build it. The only thing I could ever come up with was like, okay, let's say you're like 8,500 and you got to get to 10,000 so you can share taggable links on your story. But then at that point, you're so close anyways. Why not just keep building organically?
Yeah, you just wait. I know it's the tease, right?
Yeah.
I think the guys they're doing it really well. I mean, watching Tyson McGuffin, that guy's crushing with content. His YouTube, his reels, his posts, he's got his podcast. Like, by himself, he's just created this really rad, like, pickleball universe, right? Like, I can go learn something. I can watch him scream and yell. He's got rad arm tats. He's breaking down the game. He's interviewing, like, he's doing a really good job of surrounding his universe with like things that people want to consume. So he's kind of crushing.
New York Mag just described it as growling, which I thought was funny. He growls on the court.
Growl. Yeah, kind of like, yeah.
Yeah,
he does.
yeah.
He does. Yeah, he's got that mean pit bull style. I like it.
I used to work at a company. We worked with a lot of different brands, a lot of different influencers. And it was like a lot of what we did was influencer marketing and connecting them with brands. And we actually had, like an audit tool that would tell you what percentage of your followers are authentic. And just working with that tool now, when I go to a profile, I'll spot if you have fake followers within 2 seconds. Right? It's very easy to see once you have an understanding for what's real, what's fake. But one thing I'd always say is, like, if you're a new brand just starting off, where'd Casey go? Are you there, Casey?
Sorry, I'm trying to get my window back. There I am.
He's back. Here. Sorry. As long as we can hear him.
If you're going from like 0 to 1,000 followers and you're starting from the ground up, all right. If you're a brand, buy the first 1,000. But if you start growing, if you start buying beyond that, everybody's going to spot it. And then essentially what you're doing is you're like tarnishing your own personal brand, because then it's like, okay, well, what else is inauthentic about this?
It's hard, because if you're putting out a ton of content and you're like putting so much work, and you're like you're paying editors, you're getting guys to video you're like curating all of this content in so many different ways. Like, let's say you're doing that for a month straight, like every day. You're like, dude, why isn't it picking up? Why isn't it pumping yet? And I think in pickleball, it's a little bit different, because it's like the majority in the past of players have been a Facebook audience. It's like that older demographic, right? And so the TikTok, Instagram, like, they're not really living in that space, being like, oh, I'm going to go watch pickleball, or I didn't even know it was on a device. They're not doing that. And so I think that's where it's hard, because it's hard to hold back. You're like, dude, I'm creating all this epic stuff, but no one's following. I'm not picking up steam. Like, what do I need to do? That's where you get in a little bit of a sticky situation.
Yeah. And I noticed, Steven, are you on Twitter?
Yeah, but I've only gone in like stints of maybe a week at a time where I'm actually using it, and then I like won't look at it for another 8 months.
I noticed a lot of pickleball players are starting to get on Twitter and trying to build a Twitter audience as well. And I think Twitter is kind of making a little comeback over the last 6 months or so, where it's like, because there was a time like a year ago where I didn't even like pay attention to my Twitter, and Twitter had been my outlet forever through all of my times on reality TV. And now I've noticed people have reverted back to it, because there is something refreshing about just like being like a couple sentences and done, like it's nice and fresh.
It's almost going back to that, like, everyone's the goldfish mentality. Oh, I got 7 seconds of attention. Boom, I'm on the next thing. Like, it's good, because you get that small amount of verbiage. You get your video, your photo, and you're done. You're out.
Yep.
It's good.
All right, so, Casey, I gotta ask you, because we talked about it, we DM'd about it a little bit, but even right before you got on this call, more news dropped that APP took a big investment from Intersport, which is a big agency. Major League Pickleball also had a press release. This is all within the past 20 minutes. that they are increasing their payouts and kind of like benefits for players in terms of like lodging and other stuff like that. I also heard that the PPA and MLP had a good conversation. So 3 new developments within like the last, hour or so in all this chaos that's kind of like already been playing out. What's your take on it? You've seen a lot of this in volleyball. What's your perspective on all this craziness?
It's weird. It's almost like Inception. Like I've come from a dream and I've woken up into like another layer of a dream, because this is the exact same pattern that beach volleyball took, right? USA Volleyball, AVP, which is our pro US tour. Then USA Volleyball is like the governing body of all the US athletes. Then we have the FIVB, which is the world, it's the world tour, right? And they own the rights to the Olympic points. Now, the FIVB was irrelevant except for the fact that they owned the Olympic points, but no one wanted to play because they all wanted to go play on the AVP because it was on live on NBC. It was blowing up. Sponsors were paying players $200,000 a year, and they were getting 4 to 5 different sponsors in like similar categories, right? And then they were also controlling the prize money. So the players controlled a lot of this stuff. And then they finally got a commissioner, right? And so he's like, all right, I'm going to crack down. And then players are suing the companies for not paying out because now there's a commissioner involved. They got all messy. Then you got a competing tour when this tour is still going. Then you have USA Volleyball trying to fight for their space. Then you have the World Tour being like, well, now you only get paid 40% of your prize money unless you go to 10 events. So it was like, wait a minute. So if I go and win 50 grand in like 2 events, I'm only going to get 40% of that unless I go play in 8 more, when they all conflict with the AVP, which is where I get all my sponsors. And that's when I'm on TV. And that's where I build like a real valuable, like, resume for myself. World Tour is just kind of like, all right, it's just because I want to go to the Olympics, I'm going to go over there. So we've had all these things, right? And then on the AVP, we had the same thing. Hey, we need everybody to sign a 3-year deal and have an exclusive contract to play for the AVP, and that's it. You cannot go play for, this is a competing tour, the NVL, the National Volleyball League. You can't go play for the Jose Cuervo Tour. You can't go play, you can play in some like smaller grassroots ones that don't conflict or really threaten us at all, and we'll give you like a verbal approval. Just ask us if you want to go, cool. And so it's a similar situation where guys at the top on our tour, like you got to Carrie Walsh, she was getting paid a lot of money to sign that contract and then go influence everyone else. All the Olympians got paid, and this is before I was an Olympian. So all the Olympians got paid a salary per year to sign this exclusivity deal. And then you had guys like me who are on the cuffs, right? They're like, a potential possible Olympian or potential multi-tour winner, guys that are like really hungry and putting everything in it. I'm just signing a deal because I know that that's the top tour and that's where I want to be. And those are the only wins that count. And so PPA is doing that, right? They're like, hey, sign this deal. And then if you win that tour, that tournament, you beat everyone who is the best in the US or / the world. Where if you go win an APP, it was like, oh, cute, like, good, you're learning how to win and you're developing as a player, but does it really count because all the best teams weren't there? So that's where like the divide is starting to separate APP, PPA. And so it's the same thing that happened with us. All these tours are fighting for alliances, right? It goes straight into the Big Brother TV show. It's like, okay, let's start an alliance here, alliance here, get this guy kicked out, and let me just go as far as I can.
I don't know anything about alliances.
Players that aren't going to get right. Exactly, dude. You're just playing Survivor all over again. It's like, what do? You want to be the ultimate winner, right? You want to win and have no one question that you're the best. But at the same time, you need to get paid. And you could go win all the APPs. You could go play anything else that's like lower level tier, but it's going to pay out. I mean, we had guys that were making more money than us because they were going to all those events, but we had to go play. It was like all the 4 national teams and all the rest of the best teams were all playing each other to go win. And then those dudes were playing my nephew for the championship, and they won the same amount of money. And you're like, wait, what? How is this fair? How does this happen? So you're starting to see that where players that could get paid, but not really, like, all right, what kind of deal do I try to like put together here for myself? It's sketchy. I'm going in the house now. I'm going to leave the garage open and let her finish this movie and get some Wi-Fi.
Okay. Here's my idea, Casey. Let's say I'm a pickleball player. and I haven't signed with the PPA, and I'm competitive with the PPA players. I play all the APP events, and I claim that I am the greatest player in the world, but all the PPA players are too scared to come play me. And just keep that storyline going as long as I can, being like, they're afraid to challenge. They're afraid to challenge. If they weren't afraid, they'd show up to an event and come play me, but
they would show up. Yeah. Yeah. Why aren't they here? I'm calling them all out. Why isn't Ben playing me? No one wants to play me. And the common followers like, this dude really is the best. No one will go play him. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. Yeah, you can leverage, see, and that's what guys did. They leveraged like, hey, I'm going to be that guy, right? I'm going to go and win all the events and be the face of the APP, and no one knows any different. They're going to see it on YouTube. Yeah. They're going to see it on just as much in the media, right?
And they're going to hear me saying I'm the best and everyone's afraid, and I'm waiting here.
Right.
And yeah.
You're going to see me in every interview. Yeah, I mean, I'm the best, so I don't know what else everyone else is doing. Are they even training? I don't know. Does anyone even... are they even pro? I don't know. It's so true. Crazy how it works. Yeah. So you got players. I had a lawyer hit me up the other day asking about a few players on the PPA that haven't taken it like full time yet, but have made some waves. And so he was like, "Hey, what did you do in this scenario? I'm asking you for your advice." And I said the same thing. I was kind of like, "Look, if you're not going to get paid your 100 grand a year to sign with the PPA, or even 50 grand a year, and you're not a player that can tap into maybe the top 10, top 5, you should create a contract that lets you, all right, I want to play PPA because I want us to get better and be known for playing the best tour. At the same time, I'm not there yet because I haven't taken this full time. So give me the opportunity to play in some of these APPs too, maybe just a select few. Give me a travel stipend and you free registration, but let me go develop myself and just go be still immersed in the pickleball world and create a winning like legacy for myself. And then I'll commit to the PPA when I'm more valuable, because it's all about value too. Like they're having these guys sign so that they influence everyone else to sign, and now everyone's committed, and then they're watching all these other guys win other tournaments. So you're like,
right.
Did I make the right choice? Because that dude's making money. I didn't get paid to sign, but I want to be on the best tour. What do I do here? So there's kind of like I think you need to kind of create some sort of situation where it's good for everybody. Because
and I think the idea is that the sport is growing. So if it's growing and you sign a 3-year contract, and let's say like 3 years down the road, you notice the organization is making $20 billion a year and you're still getting your $60K a year contract after 3 years, like,
or just your registration's paid for. You're like, how about what did I do?
Yeah.
It's an eternity in pickleball with how fast it's going. Like you just said, in the last 20 minutes, like 4 things just happened that were insane. Yeah. You're like a year in pickleball is like 10 years in any sport because of how quickly it's growing. So you're like, don't commit to anything unless you know that you've got a good contract and you've got a lot of incentives and layered type of deal where I'm going to get things if these things happen. If the growth happens how we know it's going to happen, I'm going to get incentivized because there's value both ways. That's scary. It's scary. Scary times.
I'm not envious of having to make a decision there. But I feel like I'm old enough now and wise enough and have been around enough contracts to be smart about it. But some of these guys are young kids. Some of them are, if you're a starving young athlete, like that also puts you in a tough position to like, you don't have a lot of leverage necessarily.
Yeah. These guys are just stoked to be like, dude, I'm on the tour. I'm a top 30 guy. This is awesome. Cause I know that they're targeting the top 30 players. Like, hey, let's go out and get all the top 30 from men's and women's side. We got to get them exclusive. And then now we have leverage to get more sponsorships. We've got TV time opportunities. We can go hit up Peacock or NBC or whoever and get like mainstream with all of this content and these finals, because it's fun to watch. And so that's the goal, right? And all these tours are fighting for that. They need that. Because if Ben doesn't show up to an APP or let's say even the MLP, and you don't have Tyson, you don't have all of these top players, then everyone's like, wait a minute, what's going on? And then the sponsors are confused. Wait, why aren't all the players here that I hear about and see about all the time winning. Why aren't they playing here? Well, they're exclusive over here. Well, then what tour is this? And why did we sponsor? You know? And that's what they're battling for.
I've had brands in this sport ask me exactly that, like, come to me and ask my opinion, like, which of these, who should I be working with? Like, which tour should I sponsor? Which organizational body should I be?
And then this is when you call the PPA and the APP and have them bid on the percentage of that sponsorship contract that goes directly to your wallet, Thomas Shields.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yes, very Thomas. Interesting, Tyson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just continuing
That's
on
how
with
you
your
win
business
Survivor.
advice. Why am I even taking classes right now? I should just stay on the phone with you.
I mean,
I'm glad you said it. It's awkward.
Yeah, it had to be said.
It took this long. It took this long to get there.
It needed to be said, but
Tyson is actually offended that I'm taking classes when we have a friendship.
I'm so mad at him for going to school. But you know what?
Why are you
Casey
in school? You should be working on your third job.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Thomas owns the Dink, which is the largest pickleball media grouping, or most popular.
Yeah.
Right.
My dad just calls it a magazine.
A magazine.
Like we don't have a magazine, Dad.
Not an imprint. We have a newsletter. Yeah.
How's everything with the magazine? I'm like, well, don't have one of those, but it's good.
Okay. Well, your dad kind of gets
Seriously.
it. So I think that you already own that as a business guy, and you can go to class, and that's probably fine. I don't know, but if you already are running something, you're gonna learn the old-fashioned way, but the best way.
All right, Casey. So you're one of these. So you are the player who called you, right? And asking for your advice, what move they should make, who they should sign with. What was your advice to that? I mean, what if you're that person, what decision do you make? What route do you go?
Yeah, you have to put yourself in their shoes. So you can't, you're not established. You don't, you're hungry. You're driving a 10-year-old Ford Contour with 300,000 miles on it, all that good stuff.
That's
solar
good context.
panels on the top. I got a bed that drops down.
Exactly.
It's insulated. Yeah. I was what made it kind of easy for me is that I was in that exact situation, ranking wise and position wise, when I signed my first 3-year deal with APP. I'd only won one event. It was in 2009. And I was like really excited. Got my first sponsorship with Rockstar, and I was like kind of rolling. And then the tour kind of went bankrupt, and then it came back, and that's when I signed my first 3-year deal, when it came back out of bankruptcy and the new owner purchased it. And so it was really hard for me because I didn't know that these other players were getting paid. So if I would have known that, I would have situated or created a contract that was a little bit better. And so this is what I would have done. And this is kind of what I told them. I'm like, look, long term, if you're going to go all in and you're going to be full-time pickleball, because right now, if you're not, that's a different story. But if you're going to go, okay, go all in, PPA has contacted me to sign because they see value in me. But I'm not a guy that's in the top 10. I'm not winning. I'm not making a living off it. That's where I have to approach this is like, okay, there's a few things that need to happen for me to be able to sign and be exclusive in a sense. And I think once I hit a specific tier, if I go top 10, I'm exclusive to you. Until then, I'm allowed to kind of roam and play wherever I want. But if you say no, like we can have a conversation about it. Like, hey, I'm gonna go play in a competing APP event at the same time as the PPA, and you've got a big schedule with marketing and media, and you might need me in that sense where I might be more entertaining than good. Okay, good, then I'll go there. But if I need to go get better and I want to become something that gives you more value, okay, let me go play all of the events that don't conflict. And then if I make it the top 10, cool, you sign me for, 10 grand that year and I'm exclusive to you only, whatever. So I would kind of tier it to where there is some incentive for me to get better, right? To become a player that they want full time, that they're going to see winning.
And you show them
I need
that
to go get
you are,
experience.
You show them you're incentivizing yourself.
Yeah. Like, look, I want to earn what you're giving everyone else, but I'm not there yet. I'm getting close, but I'm going to go all in. Let me go just learn how to win more. Let me go learn how to go play against different types of players and get as much experience as possible. And if I get to that specific point on your tour, then I'm all in and I'm all with you.
Right.
And I think that's where the trapping point happens, is those mid-range players that are like, I don't know what to do. Like they'll either commit or they're all out, and then they're kind of banned. Like we've had players that were banned for the life of our pro tour, and they're still really good, but they're not allowed to play anymore because they didn't sign the contract. And you're like,
really?
Why is this happening? This is crazy. This shouldn't happen. You should let them come back in. And so that's the kind of contract that I probably would have negotiated. Like, look, I still need to go get better, and I'm going to do this full time. And if I only have 10 events, because that's how many you're having this year, but I want to play in 30 because 30 is, I want to go Mamba mentality and get as many reps and as many tournament experience as possible. I need to go do everything until I get to that point. Then I'm with you all in. So that's kind of what I would have negotiated, because they're going to be like, well, we're the PPA. We have everyone. We have sponsorships that are looking. I'm like, yeah, they're not going to look at me. I'm not there yet. So I'm going to go do these things, and I'm going to learn how to like establish myself as an athlete, a professional, you know what I mean? And an agent, I'm going to become that all in one, and then come be full-time with you once I've been able to kind of tap into a podium consistently.
You talked about being entertaining as one of the factors. We don't have a John McEnroe of the PPA right now, or of pickleball in general. And I was racking my brain thinking of like, who could play this role right now at this point. Kyle Yates is my vote. To throw fits, throw paddles, smash himself. Paddles, yell at people, yell at the refs, all of that.
That's true. And Kyle could be that. He's jacked, he's strong, he's aggressive. I feel like he kind of like was an early a bloomer where he was playing a ton when he was young. And then he was like, dude, this isn't really necessarily going anywhere. I'm not making a ton of money. Let me go off and I'm going to go surf and live life. And then now it's like building steam. And he's like, wait a minute, I kind of took some time off. That's what it like feels like, right? And so it's like, he for sure has that ability to come back, smash paddles, build a brand around himself, and be like, are you like, I am the Dark Knight, like I'm ready to go, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I like this.
For sure.
I like this.
Yeah.
Kyle could for sure do that.
Yeah.
If he doesn't,
caught deflating pickleball stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You need a bad guy. You need a bad guy. You need a good guy. We've got that on tour. And that's the thing that guys, everyone does something, they'll brand themselves in some cool way, right? One of our guys like copies the old school Karch Karai with the pink hat, and he jumps like 45 inches. And so it's really fun to watch him. And you got me screaming and talking to everybody. Only 45 in the sand. It's tough. I know.
He'll get there though. Yeah, he'll get there.
He still hasn't beat me. That's what's cute. I was like, I jumped like 24, dude. Like, why aren't you beating me? What's happening?
That's do you tell him that? Is that what you say?
Oh,
is that like volleyball talk right there? It's like, I jump 31. Oh, well, I jump 45. Yeah. Oh, I jump 29.
What do you touch? Oh, I touch like 11.8. Oh, cool. I'm like at 11.10, you know. Oh, you're not in the 12-foot club? Cool. You can't touch the top of the backboard? Adorable. Yeah. That's what it's all about. The jump high talk. And then I go,
these guys just wear. How many
events did you win? Yeah.
They just wear those strength shoes from the 90s all the time.
Oh my gosh. Dude, I had those strength. My
dad wanted to get them for me so
jump
bad.
Soles.
Yeah.
Jump soles.
He wanted to get them for me so bad to get better at basketball. Did it work?
Long. It did. It did help. And then you go and see the science and how like sketchy it is and how much tension it puts on your Achilles. I was like, oh, I'm glad I didn't tear my Achilles when I was like 18, because I was going hard. I was running bleachers. I was jumping off boxes with them on. I was like, wow, that was scary.
My dad saw them advertised somewhere. Thomas, I don't know if you've ever seen these strength shoes, but they're shoes, and the ball of the foot has a platform. So you're basically walking on the balls of your feet, but you're exercising on just the balls of your feet the whole time, which strengthens your calf muscles and builds your calf muscles into jumping. Yeah. And my dad was like, I'm going to buy these for you, Tyson, and you just wear them as your normal shoes all the time, everywhere you go. And you should be able to jump higher.
Okay, and then some science came out that puts
tension on your Achilles.
Yeah.
But it did also make these guys jump high.
Was that marketing research funded by a competitor like Converse or something like that?
Or by the big small jump conglomerate that believes that you should only be allowed to jump small.
Yeah, I think it was the catapults. Were they like the LA Gear? The catapult shoe. They're like, look, those don't work. You got to wear the catapults.
Carl Malone had the catapults, dude. Do you know what the catapults are, Thomas Shields?
No.
So there was Converse.
I feel like you're going down memory lane right now.
Yeah, Converse made a shoe that supposedly when you clunked it was in the heel, right?
Yeah.
When you compressed the heel, it would recoil and make you jump higher.
Got it.
The first time I ever dunked was in catapults.
Wow.
Then if I had to run fast, I put my Bo Jacksons on, and then they exploded after one sprint. They just blew out everywhere.
That's probably because you were just too strong for them.
The jump soles were the problem.
Yeah. you're like the Zion Williamson of
just blowing out his shoes.
Just blowing shoes out left and right, dude. And that's why, for my money, I trust Fila.
Nice. That was good. That's a hell of a plug right there.
Yep. Fila court shoes, number one.
The best part is if he was sponsored by Gearbox, he'd be screwed because he wouldn't be able to break the paddle. He would just be throwing it over and over.
Just be bouncing around.
And it would just bouncing, and he'd just be able to use it. Just like, damn it!
But you could break it over your knee with the handle, maybe, no? Or is that
maybe you could break
too strong?
Maybe you could break the handle. I don't know. He might have to go over to the pole and just snap.
He'd have to have some pre-broke ones in his bag that he could pull out and just be like snappy.
Yes, like the karate guys where they'll chisel the back a little and just
or like Hulk
in.
Hogan used to wear a pre-torn shirt to rip it off to make sure that wasn't a fail. So, Thomas, I know you're not bored, but you look bored, which means you're probably at least tired.
You know what I was just thinking is
how cool these two dudes are that are both over 40 and still
look the same and drive Hondas who look the same. And that's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay.
And wear cool sunglasses too. I noticed you guys both do that.
Yeah.
I was saying that this is a real play that somebody who
needs
is
to
either
do
on the PPA or isn't on the PPA could legitimately do.
Yeah.
Become the bad boy. Go out there and just know that in this match, you're going to choose a call that you don't like, and you're going to break a paddle, and you're going to start chirping. You're going to be the hothead, and you create a real brand for yourself. The PPA will acknowledge that, and they will pay you for it to come to every.
And you'll be in all the highlight reels, dude.
One player does come to mind that I know is like the entertainment factor is considered. I mean, well, Tyson McGuffin definitely, but Jeff Warnick is somebody who is,
he totally could be there.
Yeah. And he could hide some paddles in his cargo shorts while he's playing and then pull those out and smash them.
He's always heckling from the player box in the corner.
Right. Yeah.
Anytime there's a live stream, like, you know it's Jeff. It's always Jeff yelling. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Right.
So Jeff, you think is a more natural transition into this person than Kyle Yates?
Someone needs to be a little more
aggressive,
calculated, and get in there and really start shaking things.
Own it. Yeah. Really own it.
Jeff holds his paddle like a hammer. He holds it like that hammer hold. That's
how I hold mine.
Yeah. Like always forehand. Just no matter.
I'm always forehand.
Yeah,
I am. That's me. That's me. It's exactly me. I've had people say, get rid of that immediately and try to learn how to hit a regular backhand. And then I've had other people be like, it works. And it's actually quite confusing from the opposite side of the court to gauge where that reverse forehand, I call it the swiper, where the swiper move is going. So
from Dora, the Explorer. Okay.
Yep.
That's
exactly.
Yeah.
Thomas is probably more, he watched that growing up. We watched our kids
I
watch
still
it.
watch it.
He knows Dora. There, we're back. Okay.
We're back in his generation.
His eyes just lit up.
So let's take a vote here. Shieldsy. Jeff Warnick or Kyle Yates for bad boy of the PPA?
I think Kyle would be great. I think it's got to be somebody who we don't know of yet.
Somebody
who's
that's
got
just
some
coming
skill
in
and is like, I want to be on the tour, but I'm not quite there yet. And this will push him over the edge.
I mean, you tell PPA, I know you're listening because you always do. If the price is right, I'll be the bad boy at pickleball.
Right?
Yeah.
You just get some other things you gotta do in order to round out your game a little bit.
No. I just need a guy that's going to cover 90% for me, and I'll be fine.
Got it.
There you go. Right. And you're just waiting to get sped up on, and once you do, you always just get like blown up and son of a, and you just boom, there it is.
Yeah.
Like, here it comes, guys. Long rally, here it comes.
Yeah.
They haven't hit it Tyson yet. It's coming.
Yeah. And then I hit the ball as hard as I can into the stands, and then blame the paddle, blame the player, blame the court, blame whatever.
Something else.
It's always something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's yet to be a pickleball fight. So, and I don't know that there's any policy on that at this moment.
Dude.
So
well,
you
no.
can get away with it.
There was a pro that punched some hecklers in the audience at the PPA in Las Vegas last year.
Just say who it was. I feel like you don't want to say who it was. Who was it?
Pesa
went in, punched. It was the lasso guys.
Jumped to the he was playing. They were heckling. He ran over and punched one of the lasso guys, and then got sent home.
I heard about that.
So you get sent home. That's a very small price.
He got ejected out of the tournament.
Okay. So he comes back in the next one. Everyone's like, "What's Pesa going to do this time?"
So maybe Pesa's the guy now, dude. But he's
got
too nice.
Now.
Yeah, he's like, what court? Yeah, Ben's over there. Tyson. Okay, cool. But where's Pesa? Oh, okay, he's here. Court 14. Yeah, I'm gonna go there and just watch him get into a fight.
So I honestly feel like I could be the perfect fashion coach, accessory coach, attitude coach for whoever wants to do this. You get in touch with me, and we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, you're the McEnroe on the side. You're the sideline trainer, right? He's got to go through his Rocky. He's in Russia in the barn, sit-ups. He's carrying the yoke. He's
get him, Rock.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's
yeah.
Careful. You guys are getting into I'm out of touch territory again.
Oh, sorry. I was hoping, Rocky. Just barely.
Rocky won like every single award in like 1970. Yeah. It was before I was born, but still, maybe it was the 80s. But yeah, one of the all-time greats.
If we reference Rambo and Thomas doesn't know, I'm just hanging up.
Yeah. Thomas doesn't know Rambo. I almost watched Rambo as a 5-year-old child at a sleepover.
Oh, my first R movie was RoboCop, and I was like, "What's happening?" The first scene where it's just like, I was like, "Oh my gosh, is my brain okay?"
How old were you?
I think I was like 7 or 8 years old or something, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" It's so
I was 5 at a friend's sleepover, and he was like, "I sent my mom to go get Rambo at Blockbuster," and I was like, I mean, I'm here. I'm not going to say no. And I was like, cool, because I'd heard kids talk about it at school and stuff. She came back with a non-Rambo movie because Rambo was all checked out at the Blockbuster.
And you were there with your dad's compound bow you'd borrowed.
You
had it over your chest.
Face paint.
Just bandana, so excited.
All of it,
coming out of the water.
Yeah.
Shooting the helicopter.
Thomas, you got to watch Rambo First Blood.
Oh, yeah. Thomas, we got so many movies for you lined up.
Yeah,
wait, have you seen Dumb and Dumber? Have you seen Dumb and Dumber?
He's seen Dumb and Dumber.
Come on.
I mean, I'm coaching kids now, and I'm referencing, which is my fault, is Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber. And they're like, "What are you doing, coach?" I'm like, "Wait, you haven't seen these movies?"
Yeah.
Oh, I feel so old now.
So you stop the practice and watch the film with them instead? So
like, all right, in the future, we're going up team room now.
Yeah, team room now. I've got some VHSs we got to watch.
Does anybody have a VCR machine? No.
Yeah, VCR. Sometimes people give me DVDs. I'm like, I don't even know what to do with the DVD anymore. I haven't had a DVD player in my house forever.
Where do I put this?
Yeah, you can put it in Xbox if you have an Xbox, I think.
You can. PlayStation, Xbox.
Okay, but I don't have either of those. I'm a Nintendo Switch guy. Whole other territory.
Got the Oculus. Got the Oculus. It's insane.
Dude, so you can
there
go to
should be an Oculus pickleball game. Oh my gosh.
There should. Or a regular video pickleball game. It's just Pong, but it's called Pickle Pong.
Yeah, right. I mean, they even had Super Dodgeball. Like, let's get pickleball in there.
True.
Video game now.
Come on. Thomas, we've gotten to the point in the podcast where I will pee my pants if we do not end this.
Oh,
yeah. Did you like that clip that I put up, by the way?
Yeah, I loved it.
That was funny.
Yeah.
It was good stuff. Because it didn't make it in the actual episode. Made it on social.
Yeah. No, I
just
liked it.
On social media.
Yeah. Just where most people will see it.
But we got a job.
Yeah.
Casey,
we're good.
Thank you so much for being here. That was super fun. It was worth the half-hour wait. And we're glad that you're safe from the 101 back into the safety and comfort of your own home. You should go check on your kid in the van and see if they're okay.
Finishing Barbie. Yeah.
Okay. She'll be fine. Okay, cool. Thanks, Casey.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
We did it.